The day he asked me to marry him, I thought I was the luckiest woman alive. Looking back now, AP realized I was the only one who didn't know the truth. It started on a quiet afternoon, the kind where the wind barely moved, and the town felt like it was holding its breath. I was standing outside the small general store, counting coins in my hand, trying to decide if I could afford both flour and coffee. That's when he walked up to me, Daniel Cross, a man most people didn't approach unless they had a reason or a death wish. "You're short," he said simply, glancing at the coins in my hand. I looked up, surprised. "I didn't ask for help," I replied. "I know." Before I could stop him, he placed a few coins on the counter beside mine. "That covers it," he said. "I don't need charity." "It's not charity." "Then what is it?" He paused. "An offer." I frowned. "What kind of offer?" He looked at me then, really looked. "Marry me." The words hit me like a sudden storm. "What?" I whispered. "I need a wife," he said calmly. "And you think I'll just agree to that? I think you need something too." I laughed softly, shaking my head. "You don't know anything about me." "I know enough," he replied. "And what's that?" "That you're alone." The truth of it stung more than I expected. "And you're not?" I shot back. He didn't answer. That was my first warning. I should have walked away. I didn't. Because men like Daniel Cross didn't make offers like that without a reason, and something in me wanted to know what it was. "Why me?" I asked finally. "Because you'll say yes." The confidence in his voice made my heart race. "And if I don't?" He tilted his head slightly. "Then I'll find someone else." That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't, because I didn't like the idea of being replaced so easily. "Fine," I said suddenly. His eyes narrowed slightly. "Fine, I'll marry you," I said. The words felt strange leaving my mouth, but I didn't take them back. Daniel studied me for a long moment, then nodded once. "Tomorrow," he said. The wedding was small, too small. No family, no friends, no celebration. Just a preacher, a few witnesses, and silence. I told myself it didn't matter, that this was practical, that this was survival. But as I stood there beside him, saying words that were supposed to mean everything, AB couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. Or worse, something was being hidden. Life with Daniel was quiet. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't distant. But he wasn't open either. He spoke when necessary, helped when needed, and watched me, like he was waiting for something. "You don't talk much," I said one evening as we sat by the fire. "I talk enough." "That's not the same thing." He didn't respond. I sighed. "You asked me to marry you," I said. "Don't you think I deserve to know why?" He looked at me. "You know why." "No," I said firmly. "I don't." Silence then. It was necessary. That wasn't an answer. It was an excuse. The truth came slowly, in pieces. A conversation cut short. A letter he didn't want me to see. The way people in town looked at us, not with curiosity, but with something closer to understanding, like they knew something I didn't. "You're going to tell me," I said one night, standing in front of him, blocking his path. "Move." "No." His eyes hardened slightly. "I'm tired of this," I continued. "Whatever this is." He didn't speak. "Why did you marry me?" I demanded. The silence stretched too long. Then, "Because they were watching you." The words hit harder than I expected. "What?" "They were watching you," he repeated. "Who?" "Men who don't ask before they take." A chill ran through me. "You knew?" "Yes." "And you didn't tell me?" "You wouldn't have believed me." "Try me," I snapped. He stepped closer. "They wanted your land." I blinked. "My land?" "You're the last one who owns that property," he said. "And they needed a way to take it." "And marrying me stopped that?" I asked. "Yes." It started to make sense. Too much sense. "You didn't choose me," I said quietly. "I chose to protect you." "That's not the same thing." "No," he admitted. "It's not." The truth hurt more than I expected, because somewhere along the way, AB had started to believe something else. Something foolish, that he saw me, that he wanted me. But I had been wrong. I was just convenient. "I should leave," I said. Daniel didn't move. "You won't. Don't tell me what I will or won't do. You're safer here." I didn't ask for safety. Yes, you did, he said quietly. I opened my mouth to argue, then stopped. Because he wasn't wrong. The danger came the next day, just as he said it would. 3 men rode into town, not strangers, not friendly. Where is she? One of them asked the moment they stepped into the street. My heart raced. Daniel stepped forward. You're talking to her husband, the man smirked. Not for long. Everything happened fast after that. Gunfire, shouting, shouts. Daniel stood between me and them, his movements sharp and precise. Protective, not out of duty, but something else, something real. When it was over, the silence felt different. He turned to me. You're safe, he said. I looked at him, really looked. Was it always just about protection? I asked. He hesitated. That was my answer. No, he said finally. My heart skipped. No, I whispered. No, then what? He stepped closer. You weren't supposed to matter. The words caught in my chest. But you do, he added. Ending, I thought he chose me for a reason. I thought it was something simple, something I could understand. But the truth was, he didn't choose me at first. He chose to protect me, and somewhere along the way, he chose me anyway.